Hello and welcome to BusyWorksBeats.com. Today we continue our beat formula series right here at BusyWorksBeats.com. Today we're going to focus on Mike Dean, the man behind the Kanye West sound and the Travis Scott sound for the most part. And we're going to hop straight into FL, and I'm going to use my Korg Kronos to create those Mike Dean sounds. Now, normally he would be on a Moog. I don't have a Moog 1. I have a Moog Voyager, and I have a Moog Subsequent 37 in the closet. I just don't feel like pulling them out. In short, you guys can find like Moog type sounds in Serum. If you open up Serum and look for anything labeled like MG, that stands for Moog. So if you go to analog, go to basic MG, which is Moog. You can also go to, I believe, where they put it in user. You can import user waveforms off the internet, finding like classic synths from Moog, et cetera, et cetera. So you guys can find Moog waveforms that way. Anytime you see MG, it probably means Moog. Okay. So that's how you get it in Serum. So we're going for a very bitey sound, dual filter type sound. So a detuned sawtooth, basically with really low octaves here. And like a dual filter, so you have different low pass amounts here. So what we're going to do here is just record this bass. Now I'm mirroring one of his top videos on his YouTube channel. If you're wondering where this idea came from, it came from his top YouTube channel. So firstly, we're going to play... Okay, so I'm going to play that a couple times, and let's lock that in. Let's record that. So I'm going to start with the bass line to create the harmonics for the track, because this bass line has a lot of harmonics. Let's get started here. I forgot the timing. It goes like, dun, dun, dun. Let me get the timing right first. Okay, maybe it like doubles up. Okay, so let's do that. Oh, also the scale here is minor, so we're playing E minor. It's the most depressing scale there is. Okay, and Travis Scott is known to use this a lot in Utopia. That in F minor. All right, so we're in key is F, or excuse me, key is E, scale is minor. We're at 105 BPM. I'm going to do it one more time, but at a lower octave. So let's cut that, because in the beginning I had 3 bars and then it went into 4. Okay, so the melody slash bass line here, basically it plays before the downbeat. Most people start the melodies on the downbeat. This one starts before the downbeat. Let's play it down an octave. All right, so that's a really like low octave. I'm not sure it has as much tone as we need. So I'm going to try one more higher octave, only because we can actually hear it. The key to the bass line is that we're starting on E, we're moving to, if this were the tonic, we're moving to A, and E is the fifth of A. And then the way we go back is we go from A to E. which creates that dominant to tonic or tonic to dominant movement. So that's how we kind of end that phrase. I know that was a lot, but now that we have the kind of vibe, now let's create a simple kick drum. We're just going to do 4 to the floor. Nothing's crazy here. Let's hit Control L. Let's find our bass. In this case, we're going to use this one here. You guys will get all the project files for free, so don't try to memorize all this stuff. Hit Control L. So find your kick, right click on your bass, route, or excuse me. See, I already messed up. Right click, side chain to this track. Okay, you could reroute it to the master that way just by left clicking. Find your bass. We're going to go to Fruity Limiter. And where is it at? Fruity Limiter right here. Go to compressor mode, right click, select your kick, and then we're going to lower the threshold, turn the ratio all the way up. And basically the kick will just turn down the bass every time it hits. Let's add the kick into the playlist for this to actually work. Okay, so the next thing he adds for the most part is like a sawtooth type pad. And he's going down the scale. So this scale is E minor. It's basically all the white notes except for F. We're playing F sharp. Okay, so instead of F, we're playing F sharp. And the key here is just you're playing chords going down chromatically through the scale. I shouldn't say chromatically, but going through the scale, you're just going down. So let's figure out a patch that has like that sawtooth type sound to it. Very 80s. Think, you know, like he's playing a CS80. You guys don't have a CS80 Yamaha, a real one. So, I mean, there's plugins for it, but it's the CS80 he was using. So in this case, I'm going to use something just sawtooth based synthesizer. We don't need to get so complex. All right, so now I'm just going to figure out which sound I like. All right, this one fits the sound that I'm looking for. It's a synthetic brass type sound. So I'm going to do a couple runs of this. Starting at E minor. All right, so my finger was getting slippery on the keyboard. I had oil on my hand from being outside earlier. So that was like throwing my keys off a little bit, but it's all good. We got a decent recording. I think I'm going to cut the beginning though. Right there, that was the messed up chord. I might leave it in just to keep it authentic. Let's leave it in for now. So it's really simple actually. It's all about the sound design. You know, he makes sounds that are very full, like the bass ate up almost the entire frequency range. So all we really need for this to be a vibe is the kick and, you know, a harmony layer. So this is, you know, there's 4 layers to a song. You have the rhythm section, the rhythm section. Let's start at the top. There's 4 layers to a song and a melody. I just realized my camera is not showing. There we go. My fault, y'all. Okay. So there's a rhythm section. What am I saying? Okay, in a song, you have 4 layers. You have a top line, you have a harmony section, a contrast layer, and a rhythm section. So those add up to a song. So right now we recorded the contrast. Here we have our kick or the rhythm. And then here we have our harmony. I didn't realize my camera was just not there the whole time. All right, now let's record the lead. So the lead here, if you guys are using FL, you can right-click your typing keyboard to piano. Because we're in a minor key, what I would recommend is you guys try the minor pentatonic and then pick any plugin you guys want. Let's try Hercules at busyworksbeats.com/Hercules. We're going to pick some of our favorites here and just freestyle over the. Now, just make sure your root note here, we're going to right click, make sure the root note is the root note of the key or the scale, which is E. And then we're in the minor pentatonic. So now I can play my typing keyboard and do like these freestyle runs. And it just sounds cohesive. So let's record some of these. So I was just playing random notes just to show you guys. You don't even need to know what you're doing, just going up and down. And it sounded so cohesive because those are going to be your improv scales when people are like freestyling on the keyboard. That's they use the pentatonic, the hexatonic. So try those. Now I wish FL Studio would add the minor hexatonic. That would be a game changer. Now let's go to the source sound and just swap it out. I like the sound, but let's just try a different sound. Whoa, that's loud. Let me turn it down. There we go. That's the sound right there. Notice I'm following the cadence of the chords. That was these parts right here are the filthiest. This is crazy. I told you guys, you could literally just freestyle that. That was tough. We don't really have to do anything else. That's pretty much the entire vibe. Let's kind of spread this out. Let's pick another Hercules sound and let's do another freestyle, but this time with a different sound. Let's try some bells. So these are just my pre-save favorites. And again, we're in E minor. We're playing the minor hexatonic or minor pentatonic. Sound is nice and soft. Let's try this sound. So now I'm going to do another section over here. We go down one octave here. Let's turn this up a little bit. Let's record this. I was trying to do too much. I think I don't want to copy the same shape because it's just going to be compared to the other sounds. So now I'm trying to figure out a different shape we could play. I kind of like that type sound. So I'm going to go with that. Let me figure out why this is. Okay, so I'm literally playing random notes. I forgot what I played, so whatever. We're just gonna loop that and bring in the original. Let's do this, something like this, so that it switches up over time. Hold up, y'all. I don't know what happened here. What happened here? That's so dope because this is A, this is E, which is the fifth of A, and then B is the fifth of E. So they resolve perfectly. Turn up some of these instruments. That was dope. I like the crazy. Okay, we really don't need to do anything to this track. It's kind of already done. I think one other instrument he did use was a vocoder. The only thing is, I'm trying to remember how that would even work in FL. I don't know my scales off the top of my head like that. But basically you would have to route your mic to your audio input, I believe, and then run Vocodex. I think that's the FL version. Let me see if this even remotely works. Where's it at? Vocodex, Voco, V-O-C-O. Okay, there we go. All right, so here we need to choose what's called a carrier and a modulator. So the modulator is going to be our voice. We're modulating a waveform. The carrier is the synth. We have to tell it, we have to give this input. So I think you sidechain it and then we mark. Okay, so now it knows my voice is this. So we're going to right click, select your mic as the input, and the synth is going to be the direct input. Check, check, check. So now it's taking this synth sound and turning it into a vocoder. So now I just have to come up with like a little riff and then talk into my mic. The difficult part here is that my mic is so far away from my keyboard. That's the only restraint here. So I'll try to do this. Maybe if I turn my keyboard. All right, let's see. Oh, I'm not even playing a note right now. One of these might be routed to. That was kind of dope, actually. Wait. It was dope going through the harmony. That actually might work. Well, now that we know that works, let's create one more section. Again, we're doing the same thing that we basically did with those leads that we added in. We're just doing it with our vocals this time. So we have our harmony, we have the bass line. Now we're just going in to add that top line through the vocoder. This may take me a couple times, y'all. I'm not a masterful vocoder player. So let's try this. I gotta make sure I even have the right sound. All right, so you want a sawtooth that is going to give you the best results. I'm just going to turn my output off. I got to come up with one ending phrase, so I messed up there. Let me try it. Let me just practice first. So I want to go. Dun, 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 dun. Then we're doing fifths here, A to E. That's the one that's not in key. Okay, E to B. Okay, I messed up there. All right, let's try it one more time. All right, we just hacked our way through some vocoder stuff. So that's how a vocoder works in real life, like a talk box. You basically have this like, you have your synth outputs run through an output, and then it goes to this little tiny speaker, and then that speaker produces sound, then it goes to a tube, and you put the tube, like, you settle it in your mouth, you bite on it. You have to put it like near your throat so that it knows what vowel sounds you're trying to make. And basically you have to like talk and play synth at the same time. And that's a digital version of like the talk box. So that was modulation back then. Did it not record? Oh man, I got to do it again. Actually, I don't have to do it again. Here's what I'll do. So I thought it recorded, but what I'll do is I'll record into Edison. So Edison is going to record the digital side of things. So FL only recorded the audio. So we don't have to redo the actual audio. We just have to do ooh, 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 that part. So let's record this into Edison. So I wasn't sure how to record that, but now I got it. Let's record on play and do this one more time. All right, that'd be funny to hear myself not through that because I know I was out of key like a mug. All right, so now we got that recorded. We could turn off Vocodex. I hope this played. Okay, so that's how you record the digital side. Let's send this to the playlist. It recorded kind of loud. I should have turned it down, but it is what it is. So you guys will get the original synth and you'll get the vocoder. And the project files, just go to busyworksbeats.com/FL Studio to get these project files for free. And that will be our last thing. So that's pretty much it. You learn the basics. Now, also you want to look for synths that have polyphony, portamento on the synth. So I didn't really go deep with like sound design here, but a bass that like kind of pitch bends between notes, like woo, that's another part of his style too. So what I'm going to do to mix the lead that we played with Hercules to make it fit that analog, because right now I recorded off of my keyboard, which is the highest quality sound. Now Hercules, we're going to run this sound through my Hades plugin to give it that analog touch, to give it a texture and a dimension. Okay, let's load up Hades. So if you just push the input, it automatically gives it a sound. I'm just going to turn down the output. Let's add a little vibrato here. Okay, so now it should pop out of the track. Let's. So here's before. Here's after. Now it has that analog texture to it. Run my other sound through this as well. Now I'm curious, I'm gonna run, this is like way beyond the scope. Let's see if we can run the Harmony engine. Now I usually, reserve this for guitar, and I run it through here. Okay, so I forgot Entourage stuff doesn't work on my computer. Never mind. But what you would do is load up Harmony engine, and then you would map out your scale. So in this case, E minor, and then it would add that like Kanye multi-voice effect. And on this computer, the plugins aren't loaded up for some reason. Let's add a little more harmonics to this track. All right, you guys will get these project files for free. Just go to busyworksbeats.com/FL Studio. If you want to learn more about music production, you want to master the craft and learn how to make beats like the pros, go to busyworksbeats.com/premium. I'll leave a link below. Just subscribe if you're new. Like this video, share with a friend. Peace.